Join the Our Game Supporters Club at Patreon for €5 per month to get audio podcasts of the Hurling and Football Show and much more exclusive material. But we'll talk now about the Littlewoods camogie final there. Kilkenny 118, Galway 115. You were in at this game. Just to kind of recap, Kilkenny were not particularly good in what was an average enough first half, I have to say. I was a little bit kind of, it was kind of dragging on a small bit, but exploded then in the second half, and Kilkenny came out of the blocks on fire. Now, I still thought Galway did well to pull it back again, and late on, there was one stage, I think it was it Aoife Donoghue levelled right near the end, but she had Niamh Kilkenny bursting through inside her, and I would have been, odds on for Kilkenny to nail that one and go 2 points ahead late on, but then Kilkenny went straight down the other end and ended up winning the game. Just to recap on who did the scoring, Denise Gall got 6 points, 5 of those from frees. Aoife Doyle won 2. On the Galway side, Carrie Dolan got 10 points, 8 of those from frees. Niamh Kilkenny scored 1-1. Aoife Donoghue 2 points, and plenty of other scores in there as well. So you were in there. What were your thoughts on it?
Yeah, it was a mad enough kind of game. Galway had a bit of a breeze in the first half and were just going at Kilkenny every chance they got. They were breaking the line an awful lot. Sarah Spellman was very good, even in the air and with carrying ball as well, and Aoife Donoghue as well. Carrie Dolan missed a bad free to go 4 ahead just before the break, and I think it was a Katie Nolan got the last point, or Aoife Doyle got a point in the 38th minute, kind of meant that they went in 3 down at the break, and then all of a sudden Kilkenny just absolutely haired out of the traps. Mary O'Connell, who got 3 in the second half, she got a great point about 60 metres out under serious pressure, and then a real kind of goal of the year contender. That Aoife Doyle goal was brilliant. Picked it up around the 45, just went straight down the heart of the defence, absolutely roofed it. Kilkenny hit 1-5 without reply, and you're kind of thinking that the game is over. They were up by 5. I think it was 111-9. Then all of a sudden, Niamh Kilkenny gets an absolute rocket of a goal, and they were just kind of hanging on their coattails and just chipping away. And then, as you said, Donoghue didn't see Niamh Kilkenny inside, and I think it was Niamh Kilkenny actually got a score in the 57th minute as well, and I think she didn't see somebody inside as well. They'd broken the line a couple of times, took the point opportunity. When Donoghue put that point over, I was kind of thinking, Jesus, there was a player inside, could have got the goal, and then you're thinking, it's a level and score. But then if the ball had went inside and they got a goal, they would have been 2 up. And Kilkenny, that was at the 61st minute. Kilkenny would have really had to force it. Like, Kilkenny hit the last 3 points to win the game. Stephanie Fitzgerald got a great score after a catch. Denise Gall free and Mary O'Connell a point. But would Kilkenny have hit 3 points from play if Galway had gotten that goal to go 2 up? There may have been an element of panic. So while Aoife Donoghue levelled it, I do think if they'd gotten a goal there, I don't think Kilkenny would have been able to reel off 3 points in a row to win by a point. So while it looked like a good level and point at the time, they really could have went for the throat. There was a couple of occasions there where they just didn't see that opportunity. But in fairness, Kilkenny finished shocking strong. Having started the half very, very strong, they finished the half really, really strong as well. Like, anytime you hit 3 points in injury time, it's fair going. There's 4 points scored between the two sides in injury time. It's a really exciting game with nothing else on last night and no real GA over the weekend apart from Offaly Derry Saturday. It was a great advertisement for camogie, and I think some hurling people would have longed for, I don't know what you'd say, but it was a very open, direct kind of game where there was a lot of long ball played, not that much sharp passing. There was a lot of penetration at the goal as well, whereas maybe hurling has gone a bit more. There's maybe sometimes maybe there's nearly too much finesse, there's nearly too much possession. So this was kind of a bit of a throwback to what maybe hurling was maybe 5 or 6 years ago, as well as that the rule changes that are made in camogie are after just changing.
They were no-brainers
completely. They were
absolute no-brainers.
There was times there during the game where there was a couple of players that were sitting beside Dara Cahor, and we were just talking to each other and just said that would have been a free, that would have been a free, that would have been a free, and all of a sudden the play is moving on, the game is not slowed down, less frees. It just made it for so much more of a spectacle. I thought it was really good spectacle in the second half.
Yeah, for those who don't watch too much camogie, physicality, there was barely any physicality really allowed. That's been opened up a little bit. One that I noticed too, I mean, obviously anyone who watched it would have noticed, was that when you win a free inside your own 45, you're now allowed to quickly take it out of your hands. What do you think of that rule? I think it's good.
I didn't really notice it too much, but it does speed up an awful lot of things, and it leaves you, obviously when the ball is in your hand, it's like a puck out. You're in complete control of the ball. So it does leave the opportunity. It doesn't slow things down. If you want to, the way a free can slow things down a lot, it gives you the opportunity to keep your momentum even though you've won a free. I don't know if I'd say it was tactical fouling, but Kilkenny were quite smart. I think they picked up 4 yellows in defence over the course of the hour, but they seemed to spread out the yellows amongst different defenders. And they weren't afraid to put in a fairly robust tackle when they needed to, if they thought Galway broke the line. But yeah, really good game. This is like it was the Kilkenny Cork rivalry a couple of years ago. Cork are still there and they're not far off at all, and Tipperary are getting close. But like Galway and Kilkenny have met so much in recent years. Last year's All-Ireland final, last year's league final, 2019 league final, this year's league final. I think they're meeting in the group stages. And that means they're probably going to avoid each other potentially until the All-Ireland final as well. So it's a real kind of budding rivalry.
Yeah, Katie Nolan did well on the score sheet again. She had a very good game. Mary O'Connell was good. I have to say, I think Kilkenny did well to not only bounce back from a relatively poor first half, but the goal that Niamh Kilkenny scored, now she didn't do it, but somebody else, I was fairly sure, took Grace Walsh out of it. So I thought it should have been a free out. So not only at the poor first half, they conceded a goal there, which they could feel a little bit aggrieved by, still came back and won the game. I have to say, someone who stood out for me was Dervla Higgins, came on in the half back line for Galway at half time, or just after half time. Maybe it was the white boots that made her stand out, but I thought she had a very good game. Who would be your player of the match?
The white boots definitely make you stand out when you're playing well, and when you're playing bad, the white boots make you stand out for all the wrong reasons.
It's a gamble.
In fairness, there was a great piece of skill in it as well. Niamh Hannafy did a lovely flick up before Aoife Donoghue's point. She flicked the ball lovely into her hand and then got the ball across. Probably player of the match, I'd probably say. Well, Mary O'Connell had 3 points from playing the second half, but I'd say probably Aoife Doyle got the goal when they really needed. I think she followed up with a point nearly straight after as well. She ended up at 1-2. Yeah, she got a great point 2 minutes after that. So I'd probably give it to her. That was a kind of a game-changing sequence.
Yeah, and also Waterford relegated to Division 2 of the Camogie League after losing to Dublin 111 to 110 at St Brendan's Park.